So now we're going to move on to our hydraulic pump, which is, our power steering pump, which is right here. And this hole right here was a little mangled. So I had to buy a metric. I didn't have a metric tap and dice it. So I bought a number 8 yesterday, 1.25. And I chased the threads so I wouldn't ruin it. And I also chased the threads on the bolt because the threads were a little boogered up on that too, and they had like thread, what is that called? Loctite. So I chased those threads, and then also this is what holds, what's gonna hold a power steering pump. This hole right here, and this hole right here. And so the threads are chased out. They did have that the red stuff in here, the thread lock stuff on this right here. So I chased the threads to get that out. And then I took the bolt to, where's the bolt? To the wheel, to the grinding wheel, or the wire wheel, and I took out the red thread lock stuff. I removed that. So let me find it. I don't know what I do with it. I'll be right back. Thread lock. So I took it to the wire wheel on the grinder and I removed it. And so I chased these threads too because they were a little mangled. And made sure this go in really good. And see, I could turn it by hand. And this one, can you guys see that? I can turn this one by hand too. I chase those threads, so it should be good. Those are good. These go all the way there. And look at, see this space right here is as thick as this. So that'll go all the way through. This one, by hand, it stops right there. And so I have this much. I haven't measured it or anything, but I'm just eyeballing it. And this is not too thick. So I don't know. I might have to thread that a little bit more. So let me thread that a little bit more. Because that doesn't feel like the screw will go down all the way down on it. Huh. Okay, let me get the tap. I think that has to be the bolt, but it's not going all the way. So we're gonna have to chase it down a little bit more. Oh, can you guys see that? Okay, so this is what we're gonna use to chase the threads. This is what we're gonna use to turn it. Okay, you see? We're gonna turn it like that. We're gonna chase the threads in there because they're probably boogered up. Because if you stick something in there, it goes deeper. So we need this space between here and here to be able to tighten. It should be, let me get my measuring tape or a scale or something. Okay, so I guess, let's see. We want to know how deep that hole is. So let's see if we can stick this in there. Probably not. How about this? Oh, maybe if we pull this out. Oops, now I'm dropping things. No, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, not supposed to. So we want to stick this in there, and that's how deep it's going to go, okay? And you put your finger there, and then you measure, and you know that approximately it's probably about an inch. And then you're going to add the thickness of this. Can you guys see me over here? Yeah. It's not really super thick. And that light bugs me. It's about quarter of an inch. So you add quarter of an inch. So it's about an inch and a quarter. I'm going to call it an inch and a quarter to this bolt. So let's see if it, okay. So we have to go, the power steering pump is about a quarter inch on where the bolt's going to go. And so then you have, let's put one right here. And it's going to be above these washers. So about a quarter inch, and then we have another half inch that we need to go in. So half inch. So you figure, I don't like that in the way, so let's go here. Half inch there, we're going to put a piece of tape or a mark right there. And then that's how we know how deep we have to go. So let me get I think I'll get a marker. All right, so we're here. We have to go in half an inch from here to here. So we're going to put the tape or the mark probably right there. Let's measure that again. So right, yeah, my eyes went cross-eyed. Okay, right there, I think. All right, that's where I'm going to mark it. Like that. Blow. Okay. Cover my marker. These little measuring tapes really come in handy. 6-inch. I like it. Okay, so let's see if we measure this again. Half inch. Yeah, pretty close. So that's how far in we're gonna go, okay? So we're gonna mark it, let's just mark it all the way around. So wherever it turns, we'll be able to see if we're there. And the threads might just be kind of ruined at the very bottom. So there's a mark, there's a mark, there's a mark. Right there. Oh well. Okay. Hi, Rhonda. Hi. Don't try to sneak by without saying hi. Huh? I'm trying to be quiet in case you're recording. Oh. No worries. So. I dropped something. I don't know what I dropped. I'm still recording. Oh, okay. But you can talk. So then we have some cutting and tapping fluid. And we're going to put this on. Go ahead.
So I think what I'm going to need to do is use that other raised bed too. And get some soil for that maybe on the way home from Terry's.
Oh, okay.
For the cucumbers and the watermelon.
that'll be really neat. Use some good soil on that stuff.
Yeah, I usually try to, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so this has a cap. All right.
There's lots of compost in there. So.
I think we can dip it.
Okay.
See, we dipped it. Okay. I like dipping it better. You know what? I'm gonna put the cap back on. There. And then we're gonna start this by hand. Can you guys see that? Oy. So what we're doing here is we're chasing threads because they've been somehow damaged. And we're chasing it. This is we're using a tap to chase the threads. And just gotta turn it straight. Make sure that you don't cross it. I'm trying to just turn it with my hands. Okay. And that's how far in the threads go, but look how much more we need. So I think all right, so here we go. So we're going to turn it there. We're going to put this back here. We're going to, I want to show you what I do, but with both hands. There's a little wrench. Did I leave it over there? Don't need that. Oh, you know what? I think that's what I dropped. Okay. Jeez. So we have to turn it all the way to the red line. Oh, I better stand up. Oh, it's this end. All right. Keep it as straight as you can and go back and forth. Because the last thing you want to do, if you don't go back and forth and cut the metal in there and let it cut it and release it, is you'll break this in there. And then good luck taking it out. Because this metal is really, really hard to drill out, almost impossible. So see how I go back? I cut the thread, go back, release it, and then I go a little turn, go back, and you're just doing that because you, like I said, you don't want to break it. But if we can get down to that red line, we'll be okay. This is important to learn how to do. Tap a hole, retap the threads. It'll get you out of a lot of problems. But I don't know. Maybe I have the wrong bolt. I mean, it's the right size, but maybe it's the wrong length. And I think it is. But we're almost there. And so the bolt is about 3/4 of an inch. And see, that should go all the way in. The hole is long enough to cut. That's what you have to make sure. And it's tight, so you don't want to force it too hard. And you become familiar with the touch, how much you turn before it breaks. Okay, so you just go back and forth. And you go a little bit, you're cutting when you're going that way. And then go back, you release it, and then my back is hurting. And I'm breathing right into the camera, so I'm sorry about that. And I think I just have the wrong size bolt. But I don't see another one. Because the other one for the other bolts for the alternator are a bigger size. These holes are a bigger size. And those are the only bolts left. So it's important to keep track of the bolts, where they go, put them back in the holes. And this way you for sure you know where those bolts go. But I've been working on this car for such a long time that, you know, you take them out, you think you're going to remember and forget it. Let's see. You don't want to break it. You don't want to break this. It would be impossible to get out. Especially if it broke all the way inside. I mean, you could turn it with if you had a piece sticking out, but usually they break all the way inside. But we're almost there. You see where the line is? We're almost there. I didn't have a metric set yesterday, so I had to go to the local car parts store and get a tap. I think I paid $5 for this. And I could have gone to Harbor Freight, but sometimes it doesn't pay to buy something cheap like this, because for sure it probably would have broke inside, and then I would have had a problem holding down the power steering pump. I would have to remove the motor, take it to a machine shop, and then they would have to take it out a certain way that they do it, and don't want to do that. So never force anything. When you're putting a bolt back in, you want to put it in by hand and make sure the threads are good. They're not crossed. You don't want to be in a hurry. You don't want to use a power tool. You want to do it by hand and a socket. So anyway, I think we're there. We went all the way to where we were supposed to go. I think we're good there. Just a little bit more. Okay. So then we're going to take it out, turn it to the left. And when you turn it to the left, you don't have to be going back and forth because you're not cutting anymore. You're only cutting when you're turning right. When you're turning this right. Right now I'm turning it counterclockwise, which is left. So, see, I'm turning it left, counterclockwise, if you look at it from the top. Okay. And the only thing I didn't do first is check what socket it was. Okay. So here's what I have. Maybe I'll need a longer extension. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Maybe by hand first. Yeah. Just gonna go by hand. We can tighten it a little bit. Okay. And then the short one is right here. Okay. So let me see if you can see this hole. See how it doesn't line up? But I have the bolt on a magnet, which is really, really helpful. Oh! And I'm going to try to I think I'm going to have to tighten this bolt a little bit more. The one on the right side. The tripod cut the ratchet. Looks like it's lining up as I'm tightening this bolt. It's moving over where I could put the bolt in. Yeah, you see it? Yeah. That is so cool.
Recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some thread lock. Did you want something?
I just wanted to remind you to bring your lunchbox in.
Oh, okay. Next break. All right. Got some thread lock on the bolt. See? Okay. Now we're gonna put it in. Hopefully with no trouble. Okay. I was hoping to be able to turn it. Okay, here we go. Long extension, I mean, not long socket. Okay. So that's gonna go in there. Okay. Can you see this blue connection here? Let's see. There we go. I plugged this on the power steering pump and it clicked. And then this, along with that connector, there was another connector on that wire to the sensor, and it was really easy. And you just stick it in here, Okay, like that, without breaking it. And that's it. And then the rest is a video on another day. We're gonna do the alternator is gonna go here, and then the air compressor or the AC compressor, and the radiator, and the belts, and you know the rest of the stuff. And then we're gonna try to start it, and hopefully it'll start. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I'll talk to you soon.